Cynthia Untamed. This is a youthful and educational channel where we have conversations with and about children and young people in Africa. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Cynthia Untamed. Make sure you stay tuned and tell a friend to tell a friend. My name is Cynthia Nyongasa, and on this platform, we inspire the current generation of leaders and enable them to dream big and hope deeply. We are on part two of the Opportunity Desk Impact Challenge, where we are featuring some of the winners. If you've never heard of Opportunity Desk, it is a platform where young people can access opportunities from scholarships to traveling to work to internship, any opportunity that you can think of. And this year they had a challenge called the Opportunity Desk Impact Challenge, where Cynthia Untamed is a proud media partner, where we are featuring one of the winners. Please do make sure you check out my interview with Joanna Osgrau. Today we will be featuring the second winner, who is Stanley Anigbogu, and he will introduce himself as we go along. Stanley, you are most welcome to Cynthia Untamed, and thank you so much for being part of the challenge. And congratulations on your win.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here and share my story and what I do. So that's really amazing.
Awesome. So, could you please tell us about yourself, your name, your country, your age, and a brief description of architect hubs, architect hubs
Okay.
you run in your country?
Okay. So my name is Stanley Anigbogu, and I am a 21-year-old Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian, sorry, and I'm the CEO and founder of Tech Hubs. It's more of like art and tech. So the ideology, yeah, Tech Hubs, yeah. So people always find it difficult to pronounce the names. The ideology behind the name was to show that art needs technology and technology needs art. So we kind of combined it, and our general base is creativity. So Tech Hubs is a STEAM education company, which is science, technology, engineering, arts and math. So that's basically the foundation of our organization and company. So it's a STEAM education company that equips young people with relevant skills needed for the future workforce in robotics, coding, local technology, and which we currently call creative technology, and also entrepreneurship and coding classes. So we use this to empower young people to have these skill sets and to start startups for themselves and start businesses and potential become change makers as well in the future. So this is what we do at Atec Hubs.
At Tech Hubs. You had it, guys. Thank you so much, Stanley, for introducing yourself. And for those guys who are still following, remember I mentioned that Stanley is one of the winners of the Opportunity Desk Impact Challenge. So Stanley, please tell us a little bit about what motivated you to participate in the challenge.
Okay, so the very first grant that I won in my life was from the Opportunity Dex website. My friend sending me the link and said, "Hey, apply for this competition. It's going to provide you with opportunity." And I was like, "Okay, let me check it out." Then after that day, I applied and I got accepted. I started every day I go on the opportunity deck to shake new opportunities. So what motivated me to apply for this year's opportunity decks impact challenges? I saw that my company is in a growth phase and we're about to make more change by 2021. Um, even though we are affected by the pandemic. So I said, okay, this is going to be a huge boost for us. This is going to help share the story and share what we are doing at Tech Hubs, and this is going to help us to get to more people. So I said, okay, let's just apply. I remember when I applied, I did the video that same night. I edited the video that night and I uploaded it that same night. So it was really an amazing experience applying, and finally I didn't even know I would be one of the winners. So it's really an amazing journey for me.
Wow, that's amazing. So you uploaded the same night and actually got the opportunity, and it was wonderful to read through all your applications. So you mentioned that the very first grant you got was through Opportunity Desk. But how did you discover Opportunity Desk?
I discovered a opportunity Dex from a friend. He because when I was in high school, I always work on local technological projects. like robots and rockets. I am a science geek myself, and I'm a nerd. So he was like, I saw this robotics competition. You should check it out and try and apply. Then I said, okay, sure, let me try and apply. And apply. The first grant that I got was a $500 grant from Lego. They were having this robotics competition. So that was how I was able to fund one of my robot projects I did in 2018, 2017. It's between that year. So that was how I discovered Opportunity Dex. So what I tell myself is every year I must apply at least 60 to 70 opportunities in a year. So that's what I give myself. And I go every day and check up on Opportunity Dex. So literally my space and my growth phase and personal development and everything revolves around Opportunity Dex. So yeah, they have really helped me a lot.
Wow, that's amazing. So it's really great that your friend actually told you about it. For me, I discovered it by chance. I was just looking for opportunities for young people when I was at the university. And as I Googled, the website came up, and that's how I've been able to get a lot of opportunities as well. So that's wonderful to hear, to even understand that you have so much resilience in applying for things. I always say the more you apply, the more you get opportunities, and the more you are exposed to things that will help you as a person and also help you as a society. So, for young people to succeed in the 21st century, they must be resourceful, adaptable, confident, and creative. Some of these skills have to be acquired outside of the workplace and in spaces that young people like Stanley run in Nigeria. I'd like to know what you are running in your country, so please make sure you comment in the comment section below. So, Stanley, what are the skills that are needed by young people to navigate changes in the world and in the workplace?
Okay, this is really interesting. Let's look at the world right now and the shift we are having. The world is moving to a more technologically advanced phase, or I don't know how to put it, but everything is going into AI, deep learning, machine learning, and so many advanced technological fields. But the question is, how will people succeed and kind of have impact in the future workforce and in the world as well? So a really important skill, I'm going to mention just two skills because there are a lot of skills that are really important. But two skills that we very much honor and focus on in APEC Hubs is problem solving. It's a skill that we have to pay very good attention, making sure that the students that we train have the ability to identify problems. So problem solving is a skill that students have to have, and creativity. Creativity is a very underrated skill. People ask, how do I be creative? How do I become a creative? Literally, everyone is creative, but the main is how do you master your craft in creativity? How do you become that guru or genius in that specific field? It's by keep a reputation, believing in yourself, being unique, and being yourself. So we try to make the students appreciate their own unique values and ideas and creative concepts before then we take that creative concept and apply it to problem solving. So problem solving and creativity are really important skills that are needed for the future workforce.
Wow, that's amazing. So you had it, guys, problem solving skills and creativity skills. And I'd like to know, Stanley, how you actually use your organization to enable young people to get problem solving and creativity skills.
Okay, so for example, we have three major classes right now. Our classes are divided into three: entrepreneurship, coding, and creative technology. So I am in charge of the creative technology classes. So the creative technology classes, we focus on identifying a specific problem. It's like giving the students a team to work around, and they identify, okay, we have to solve the problem of water pollution. So what we then do is make sure that they learn everything about water pollution. They learn the different types of water pollution. They learn how does it happen? How do you prevent it? How do you purify water and so many things. Then we allow them to work in groups to come up with concepts and ideas that how do they solve this specific problem. So many students would come up with for example, let's say water pollution. you would have a student come up with an idea of purifying water. You have a student come up with an idea of preventing water pollution using technology. So these are different concepts, different ideas, and we make sure that they believe in their ideas and concepts. And then they actualize it using the materials they find around them. Because we want, after the trainings, the students can go back home, use what they can pick around them, and come up with technological solutions. So we don't focus on buying stuff from Amazon or eBay. We believe in going to the mechanical workshops, going to the local markets, finding ways to improvise and solve problems. Because for Africa to grow right now, we need that ability to improvise and use what we have in Africa, not depending on outside of Africa or Europe or anywhere. So which is really important. That's how we impact the students. And after that, the entrepreneurship classes come in place because now they have a solution. How do they sell that solution? So the entrepreneurship classes are there to make sure that the students have the ability to sell their solutions and tell a story about their solutions. And same as well for the coding classes. After they learn about the codes, the entrepreneurship classes help them to know how to apply those codes to solve real life problems and identify problems in the world as well. So that's how we run our module and how we teach students.
Wow, that's amazing to hear. And I really like the aspect of working in groups, working together, because actually, another skill that is needed for the 21st century is teamwork. And a lot of young
Yeah.
people may not know how to work in teams. And also, trying to find solutions around problems also requires them to improvise stuff. You need to come up with something, come up with an idea. People are always looking for ideas. And I also like the fact that you touched on the aspect of making money, because sometimes we as young people in Africa, we have lots of great ideas, but we don't know how to use that to make money. And the only way to build the economy of a country is to actually generate income from your idea
Revenue, yeah.
and be able to export that idea that you are working on, so that other African countries are able to buy the idea, or even countries across the world can come and actually invest in the idea and actually build the continent and create jobs for young people. So thank you so much, Stanley, for elaborating on that. And so far, what has been the impact of your work?
So the impact of our work has so many branches. We have directly impacted over 4,000 plus students in Nigeria and Morocco combined. So those direct impacts may involve students in our program and students in our non-profits, because we also run a hybrid project. We have for the profits, which we do for schools and we get paid, and we have for the non-profits, whereby when I traveled to Morocco, I made sure I went to rural communities and taught students in like have mini workshops with them, show them how to convert energy from one source to another. So our impact varies so much. And the main vision for ArtEcorps is to inspire the next generation of problem solvers, change makers, and the tech giants of the future in Africa. So that's what we believe in, inspiring the next generation.
Inspiring the generation of leaders. And remember, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, is that Cynthia Untamed is here to inspire the current generation of leaders, which is why we are hosting Stanley today, who is already inspiring the current generation of leaders in Nigeria. So keep up the good work, Stanley. And Nelson Mandela actually said that education is the most powerful way to change the world. And Art Tech Hubs
That's true.
actually captures a very important aspect of education in terms of creativity, using technology. I mean, Africa needs to capture the fourth industrial revolution, which is all about technology and the internet. So, how can we reform the education system, not only in Nigeria, but also in Africa, to enable young people to gain these skills?
I believe reforming an education system is really hard because schools would here's the main point. Schools are really interested in programs like we offer at Atecops, but the problem is how to reform an education system. And this is not only a problem in Africa. This is a problem globally. They don't know how to shift from one this already built system, because the education system we're using was made for the industrial age, whereby students are trained to be workers, not problem solvers or employers. So it's only those very few students that escape the bubble become the problem solvers. So you're having people that create more jobs that are very low in number, and you're having more people that are looking for jobs. So this number is not really balanced. So the problem is changing that system. It's going to take time, but it's coming. It's coming bit by bit. You're now seeing new institutions that use this model of leaders, creating the leaders of tomorrow, not just by getting degrees, by inspiring and training them to solve problems. And it's really important for companies like Atec Hubs and other STEM education companies that are working outside the education system, bringing the extra sauce needed for that boost we need into that fourth industrial revolution. So I think it's really important that more young people step up and learn, because you can't teach if you don't learn. Because I had to train myself, I had to invest in myself a lot. I had to read so many books, watch so many videos, take so many classes to be sure that I can impact someone else. So I think it's very important that students should not only depend on their degree, they should not only depend on what they learn in class. They should use their spare time to learn new skills that are outside the classroom. So that is really important for the education system to evolve. Students have to learn outside the classroom, because if you're waiting for the classroom to evolve, it's going to take time, really a lot of time. So I believe it starts with the individuality at the individual point of creating that change in the education system, the students themselves and the citizens themselves. So that's how I believe that the education system will evolve to help for the development of Africa.
Wow, Stanley. Actually, I've never thought of that aspect where how difficult it is to actually allow the education system to evolve. And it's very interesting how you talked about how the previous generation, rather the current education system that we have, trained people to be workers and not to be problem solvers. And I think it's important for our viewers to understand that even as we go to the university or go to technical colleges to take up courses, ask yourself what problem you're going to solve with that particular degree you're actually going to study. Just as Stanley has said, always look outside of the classroom. What activities can you do? Can you start an organization? Can you join a club or a society? So thank you so much. And it's good for young people to also hear from someone else, because I'm always talking about these things. But if another young person also mentions it, I think it just reemphasizes the importance of looking beyond the classroom and not living inside the library. So you've also talked about young people being change makers, and the world is constantly having conversations around having young people as change makers, supporting young people as change makers. And JF Kennedy actually said, ask not what your country will do for you, ask yourself what you will do for your country. So, how can the youth in Africa be change makers? You can also use your own example as a young person.
Okay, so I am going to run through my story very brief and quick. So I never knew there was this word called a change maker. I didn't know that I could actually I had this idea. I was really good in technology. So I always wanted to be like Iron Man. I think I have this poster here right now. So I always wanted to be like Iron Man. And that was the dream. That was the dream. That was only what I had. I want to end up becoming this rich billionaire that made tech projects and travel to Mars, or probably like Elon Musk. But with time, I started understanding it's not easy to get to that dream. It's really difficult because resources are very low. My first robot took me a lot of time. Um, yeah, I had a lot of friends that contributed money, which I had to pay back, and I had to go to extra miles. So what I told myself after high school was, now I know how I can assess these opportunities and how I can solve these problems. What do I do with this knowledge? How do I impact the next generation? So I started watching so many motivational videos, and those motivational videos tweaked my mindset that we don't come into this world and leave. And at the point in my life when my grandmother passed away, she used this phrase. Dike Adanwao. In my language, it means legends never die. So that's what I use. That's my mantra. Legends never die. So legends never die means that you have to create positive impact so that people will not remember your name only, but remember the good you did into this world. So I told myself the good that I'm going to do is to make sure that at least I make sure that a very low amount of Africans or young change makers in this world that want to change the world using technology won't go through the same hardship I went through. Provide mentorship for them I never had, provide easy and accessible skills that I had to pay a lot of money to get. So that was what I envisioned, and that was how my changemaker journey began. Before you knew it, I traveled to Morocco was one of the best experience. I started volunteering in organizations like Atlas for Development and so many other organizations in Morocco. And after that, I learned a lot and I said, okay, now I can start my changemaker journey. I know what a changemaker is. All you just have to do is identify a problem. That takes us back to problem solving. Once you identify a problem you're passionate about, or a solution, or a service, or an idea that you're really passionate about, no matter how people tell you give up, don't. Because when I started Atec Hubs, here's the first presentation I had for a couple of investors. They told me, so what are you doing? Your idea doesn't sound clear. You're wasting our time. You're just showing us robots that you're making. Please, next person. That was what they said. And I felt really bad. I was like, nah, I'm going to stop this stuff. And I remember going home and I was going through Instagram and I saw a quote. You have to focus on a particular dream. Don't just divert because you had a 4 point. Keep on dreaming, focus. No dream is too big and no dreamer is too small. So that's how it happened. Daniel and World kept on pushing. Before you knew it, I became a Google Creative Fellow. And believe in yourself no matter what. No matter what people tell you, just have to believe in that dream that one day everything is really going to make a difference. So that is my story as a change maker. And I believe anyone can be a change maker. It's not a destiny stuff or it's not really written. It's a decision you just have to make by yourself that I am going to stand for this problem and I'm going to solve it.
Wow, and it's amazing to hear that. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I think what the audience can get out of this is that it's very important to be determined, to be focused, to be resilient, and always look at the problem that you need to solve in your community. Never, never forget that. So even as we talk about enabling young people to be change makers, we also talk about the fourth industrial revolution. In 2018, this is a fun fact, by the way, the International Telecommunication Union reported that for the first time, more than 50% of the world's population was using the internet. Unfortunately, more than two-thirds of Africa, two-thirds, that's 75%, lacked access to the internet. And your
Wow.
organization is also using the internet as a means of empowering young people. However, many youth don't have access to this resource. So, what are some of the ways we can bridge this gap?
Okay, that's really a nice fun fact, and this is actually the first time I'm hearing it. So it's really a very poof. It's a huge fun fact to bear. It's sad that 75% of Africa doesn't have access to internet. It's really sad. But the best way that we can solve that problem is, like I said, innovation. um what when I'm talking about innovation, I'm talking about innovation in technology. So you have organizations, like I have a friend of mine. He runs a tech organization similar to our tech hubs in the south part of Nigeria. So what he does is he builds this internet servers that he takes to communities that where his projects are being done, to provide access to internet for them. And these are types of innovations that people are Africans should adapt to. Because when you're waiting for companies to bring, or the government to solve those type of problems right now, it's going to take a long time. So I think it's back to that point of individuals stepping up to solve those problems for communities. So currently I am also a co-founder at a startup that provides renewable energy for people living in rural communities. So we have future projects that will revolve around providing people with powerhouses that have access to internet for that specific community. So projects like this should help and reduce and bridge that gap, or reduce that gap of people that do not have access to internet. Hopefully, in the next 10 to 20 years, that margin of 75% should reduce if we have more projects like this.
Wow, thank you so much. And I really like the fact that you are really emphasizing on the aspect of innovation. If you are a young person watching this, we have something called the Sustainable Development Goals. So make sure you go and learn about them. And what Stanley is talking about is closely linked to Sustainable Development Goals, all about innovation, building economies, sustainably using resources. And I think we also mentioned this in Joanna's interview. So make sure you also check out that interview. Sandy, thank you so much for being part of Cynthia Untamed and Opportunity Desk. It's been wonderful hosting you. Do you have a parting shot for our viewers?
Okay, so I have this quote I always use after every speech. Everyone, every single one of us, we are all unique. We are all amazing in our different ways, our different skills, different stories, different attributes and talents. But only those that share their uniqueness with the world are rare. So, to every change maker out there, to every young person out there, dare to be rare and don't be scared. Show the world what you can do no matter what people think. Just be yourself and change the world. So, dare to be rare, make a change, and impact people's life. Legends never die.
Amazing, amazing. You are unique and don't be afraid to share that uniqueness with the world. Make sure you continue watching this interview. You keep sharing it with your friends. Tell a friend, and make sure you check out Stanley Anigbogu on Instagram. Check out his organization on Google, and I'm sure you'll be able to learn much more. I will see you in the next episode. Make sure you also check out the Opportunity Desk Impact Challenge so that you can participate next year and learn more about new opportunities on Opportunity Desk, where you will get them every other day. Until next time, bye bye.
Bye bye.